What's happening? Just um, just a quick video, just something I was thinking about. This video is for the thinkers, so I'm not really sure how this video is gonna come out. But anyways, um, I wanted to just explore something that I've been thinking about for quite a long time, and it's just just trying to just explore. I'll give you my own perceptions and my own experiences and things that sort of I've always questioned because I like to. As I said in my previous video, I do like to question a lot of things. I look at the world in a totally different way. Now, people, some people, obviously from looking through, in some cases, some people might think that might have this perception that I'm crazy or whatever. Cool. Whatever you feel within yourself, that's cool. If you feel that, cool. But anyways, what I wanted to just talk about, I just wanted to just find out. I mean, is it just me? Maybe it's just me, but I look around and I've just always questioned. I'm always trying to understand why there's such a perception or why there's an impression all over the world, and it's universally all over the world that the perception is out there that black people are criminals. I mean, is this something that I'm totally mistaken, or is it just, am I misguided, or is this something that I'm misinterpreting? Because I've gone through, going through life itself, I've always had this impression, or there's this perception that black people are criminals. And that's universally in every single aspect, every continent. It's not something that's just partake to one area. It's all over. No matter what society or what corner of the world that you're in, there's always been this impression, or maybe I've got it wrong, but I've always felt that there's always been this impression that there's a perception that black people are criminals. And I've just wondered, is that I don't know how that's come about. Is that based on does that have a statistical basis on it, or is it just the way I look at it? Is it just part of the conditioning that we've been, as a society, been conditioned to believe that is the case, that black people are criminals? I remember watching so many TV programs and films, and you kind of like you kind of look at it, and it's like black people have always been perceived like, oh, they either have to partake in some kind of criminality, either a drug dealer or or they're breaking into something, or they're trying to steal something, or whatever, or they're not. That impression is always given because people, for example, you probably walk into a room, and then people sort of like have this automatic impression, that sort of negative thought in their minds, like, oh, I don't know, have I got it wrong, or is it just that's just the way I just wanted to ask the question there, because like I said, I think about things, and it's always bothered me. I've always thought about it. It's like, is that factually true? Is that based on fact? Or is it just a conditioning, or is it just an impression that's been drummed into us for generation after generation after generation, for whatever reason? That perception is like, it's still there even after all these years, regardless of whichever way we've tried to look at this. Is the impression is still there. And I was just looking at one of the statistics, just a small statistic, and I know it's specific to the US, but regardless, it's still relevant in so many different parts of the world, but specifically in the Western world. But for example, in the US, the rate of incarceration for black males states that you are 6 times more likely to be arrested and put in prison as a black man than you are as a white man. Now, the question I always ask is that when I see a stat like that, it's like, is that based on the fact that black people or black males specifically, are they partaking more in criminality, or is that statistic doctored to give the impression that black males are partaking into more criminality? I've always wondered that. Now, obviously, I don't have the answer to that because, I'm my thought process is, if the impression is given that black males are criminals, then would that be a basis to, in terms of that stat, would that be a basis to sort of justify the rate of incarceration? And I personally, it's for me, it's something that's always disturbed me. I've always questioned it. I still question it, and I will still continue to question it because, I just think it's more based on conditioning than anything else. The impression has been given, or in society, that black people or black males are criminals. So, like I said, it's just something for me. It's just food for thought. It's just something out there because, when somebody is ridiculed for having the ability to think and look at things from an outside view rather than, going head first just to, accept the norm. My question is, am I supposed to accept that as normal, as the norm? Because statistically, it's been thrown out there. You're more likely to be arrested as a black man than you are a white man. And there's statistics to give the impression. But me personally, I look at it and I want to have to, I could look deeper into it, and it's something I want to look, because I like to look deeper into things. I don't like just accept what I read or what I see. Because everybody else would accept that, and not everybody else would be happy with that. But me, as somebody who would like to look outside of things, I'm like, well, wait, hang on. Look at this. Let's look at this. You might call me mad and mental and crazy, but wait, this is the kind of things I try to look at and say, well, statistics says this. The impression is given that this is the case, but have we thought about this? Have we actually considered this? Is this factually true, or is there something else going on here? That's just how my brain works. That's the way I look at things. If you want to ridicule me for actually looking at things or trying to have the ability to look at things, then fair enough. But it's just food for thought. Peace.